I'm going to warn y'all now, my hands are very ashy. Why? I wash my hands a lot when I cook. You should too. Let's get into it. First up is the steak marinade. This recipe is very simple. I think the toughest part of the recipe was just getting the bottles of the sauces and the oils to cooperate. And the freaking lemons. I mean, you'll see me struggle in a second here. I think I'm out. Okay, well, that's that. So, I guess I'm officially out of Worcestershire sauce. Yeah. Worcestershire. Oh my goodness. Worcestershire. Yeah. Anyway. The lemons were tough. I had purchased 8 lemons just to make sure I had enough. Well, I was figuring I would have some left over, but I ended up using 7 lemons. Why? Because these lemons gave me they did not want to cooperate in the juice department. I am struggling with this juicer. I've rolled them, I've gotten them ready to go, and this is all I'm getting. So I just say forget it. I break out my tongs and I go old school style and I squeeze them the best way I knew how, because I was just over it. But I did get my lemon juice at the end of the day. The Italian seasoning, I was going to put 3 tablespoons in there, but once I saw how much came out of the 2 tablespoons, I was just like, no. Salt was crazy. Salt wanted to give me a little too much energy. Okay. Oh, okay. Chill. Garlic press, I hate it. Well, no, I take that back. I like it for other reasons, but this was not the time. I can't deal with this. This is bothering me. So I'm just gonna leave that there. Boom. You're about to go in. Then I had to shake the table, shake the camera and all. But you still see how it came out. Alright, cool. So everything, throw it in a bowl, break out that whisk, get to whipping, and it'll create a nice little, almost like a dressing. I mean, hell, it could be a dressing if you want to use it that way, I guess. It tastes pretty good. But yeah, get it all whisked together. And then we're going to break out our lovely packs of flank steak. Not too expensive. I mean, to me, I didn't think paying $26 for steak was too crazy. They were pretty big pieces of flank, so I thought it worked out just fine. 2 just long pieces of muscle. You want to submerge the meat as best you can if you're not able to get it fully submerged. I had a couple little corners that were sticking up, but oh well, it all worked out in the end. I'm going to throw some press and seal wrap on top, throw that bad boy in the fridge overnight. The least you want to do is 2 hours, and depending on how thick your meat is, you kind of want to gauge that, but overnight I think is best. Cool beans, here we are making our pepper prep. I have red bell, green bell, poblanos, jalapenos, yellow onion, and just about a whole head of garlic, just about. I'm showing you how I cut peppers. However you do it is really up to you. I find this to be the easiest way. The important thing is make sure you don't cut yourself, and making sure you get all those seeds and that white part of the inside of the pepper out of the way. When it comes to cutting that white part out, you have to be careful to not cut towards yourself. Cut that, direct that knife away from your person, because no, that's not what you want. Cutting the peppers in nice little strips, not too thin, not too thick, maybe 1/4 of an inch. I'm not good at measuring stuff, but that sounds right. This took me a good 35 minutes or so to do. I probably could have done it fast if it wasn't focused on moving the camera around and whatnot, but I love cutting things and prepping food, so it didn't bother me. See how I'm cutting away from myself. Keep that in mind. Poblano, cut the top off, grab the seeds and everything else out. You're going to shake it out. Jalapenos, even simpler. Cut them bad boys in half, take a spoon and scoop everything out. They're not super spicy, so you don't really need to have gloves on. But if you're super sensitive to that, just make sure that you do put gloves on. And don't rub your eyes. I don't care which route you take. Do not rub your eyes. Okay, this yellow onion, I am pretty sure came straight from the pits of hell. I have never had an onion disrupt my system the way this onion did. There was a lot of suffering going on, you know, behind the scenes. I just could not, no matter what I did, I could not stop torture of my eyes. Woo! Jeez! Whoa, Lord! Whew. Okay. This onion. Whew. Oh! This onion is strong as hell. Oh! Okay, that was just a taste of what I had to go through in fighting the onion. I was going to put 2 onions in the peppers and everything, but I was like, no. 1 onion was enough. No more drama, okay? No more onion drama. Garlic, I kept it simple this time. Went straight for the knife, didn't play around. No garlic press, none of that foolishness. And then boom, a bowl of peppers, onions, and garlic ready to go. Put that in the fridge because all this stuff was done the night before. As you can see, it's a new day. I have on a white shirt now. Wardrobe change, new day, new shirt. Okay. The meat. They're too big for me to just vacuum seal that way, so I cut them in half. I'm not going to show you how to vacuum seal meat because I think that's very self-explanatory. If you have, a vacuum seal, you can do that. If you don't have a vacuum seal, you can use a Ziploc bag and use water to push the air out. Here's my Nova sous vide cooker. It does Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. It circulates the water at a certain temperature to cook the meat to the certain temperature you want it to be at. I want my meat to be cooked at 135. It's now preheating. Once it gets to 135, it says, hey Keisha, we ready to go. So I say cool, and I pick up my meat and I throw them in the pot. I'm using some clips that come in handy in this case. Once the meat is done, I cooked it for an hour. Almost an hour and a half, just shy of an hour and a half. You want to make sure the meat is nice and dry, so I pat it dry with paper towels. Then I sit it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. You want it to be kind of dry on the outside because that's what gives you a nice crust. Sous vide food, all that juice, all that moisture, when you try to sear it in a pan, it's just not going to work. I mean, it'll work, but you won't get a crust. It's not what you're going to. It won't be as pretty. I have seasoned my meats with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Skillet is nice and hot with my oil in it. I'm going to press it down so I can make sure that it's touching the pan like I want, so I can get an even crust, as even as possible. I have an even bigger cast iron skillet for my peppers and onion mix. I kind of had to get in there with my hands to kind of make sure everything got into the pan. You hear that sizzle? Oh yeah, I love a sizzling pan. The peppers, salt, black pepper, and the infamous cumin. So yeah, peppers, they're cooking. My steaks, I'm searing them bad boys off. Boom. Peppers, they've cooked down quite a bit. You want to get them nice and soft. We're not looking for browning If it gets a little brown, that's cool. We don't care. We just want to get nice and soft. I'm going to take that beer, that lager, and I'm going to pour maybe 2/3 of that bottle inside the onions. I turn the mixture up a little bit so it can get that beer to simmering. I want to kind of reduce it a bit so it could be nice and kind of saucy and just meld together with those juices from the onions and the peppers. OMG. It smelled so... Look at it. Oh my goodness. It smelled so good. Oh, that looks delicious. Yeah, so here we are cutting our meat. I'm showing you how the grain of the steak runs. You want to cut your meat against that grain. That is how you get a nice tender cut when you, well, not tender cut, but a tender bite when you bite into your fajita. You're not really ripping the meat apart. Let's give you a simple cut, but boom, there you go. All the meat has an even color. It's just beautiful. Plating. Tortilla, slap it on the plate. Peppers, throw them bad boys down. Then pieces of meat. I only needed 3 pieces. I don't want to overfill it, you know. The pieces are kind of long anyway, so it'll do. Then my nice chimichurri. I made it more marinade style, so it's a little runnier of a sauce. Chimichurri can be thicker, but it all worked out. Boom, there you have it. Finished steak fajita.